Here you can see a Brazilian baby. Cute, huh? And he isn't just a baby. It's a baby citizen. Once we are born, voila, magically we are already citizens, right? Partially right, at least for me. Yes, we do have rights, duties. We belong to a nation. When growing up, we are probably going to pay taxes and to vote. And all these are well-known characteristics for good citizens. And indeed, they are relevant, they are true. But thinking just this way, we are reducing a beautiful concept of citizenship. Because citizenship is way more than that. And I'll explain why soon. By the way, I am this baby. I was. And I was smiling in this picture because mommy told me that I would be a great citizen one day. And I would do a TED Talk to share my ideas. But unfortunately, this is not true. My mom never told me that. How could she? No one prepared her to be a citizen. Then, she wouldn't know what is to be a great one, right? People in my country are mostly individuals rather than citizens, like my mom and myself in the past. And that's the point here. The unpreparedness for citizenship is the most democratic behavior among us Brazilians. It doesn't matter where you came from, your gender, your age, your professional background, or any other thing. The probability that you are a prepared citizen is really low. And for the context, I am 30 years old, and our constitution is just 35. So it's really new, right? We are still figuring out how to be a democracy. You probably already got my point here. We are not baby citizens. No one born as a citizen. We are just individuals. And citizenship is something that we might conquer through life experiences. Citizenship requires effort. We need to acquire knowledge. We need to pass through real-life experiences where we put our hands on. And maybe we can be called a citizen one day. And that's my idea worth spreading here. The only takeaway I want you to bring back home is the reflection about you being a citizen or just an individual. And for those who think that can strengthen your journey to be a better citizen or to start being a citizen, I have here the citizen metamorphosis process to share to you. It's just 4 ingredients. It's really basic stuff. You're gonna see that there is nothing mind-blowing there. What is mind-blowing, my ingredients, is that we are just not putting them in practice. And I don't know why. They are simple, fun, and necessary. But before entering the citizen metamorphosis process, I need to align with you 3 assumptions. Citizenship for Gabriel, in my conception, is about solving public problems. So if you're not going towards solving things that are bothering you in society, if you're not choosing a problem that resonates with your heart and with your mind and really try to solve it, you are not a citizen for me. Secondly, the state is not a hero. We rely and we expect a lot of things that someone is going to solve our problems, especially the state in some countries. And the state, of course, is important, but it's just one actor. We need to unite all sectors to solve public problems together. And finally, we are a complex society. We can see wicked problems everywhere, every day. Just take a look on the UN agenda for 2030. Maybe we are just copying and pasting the SDGs and trying again, because we are failing a lot. So we need to solve public problems together. That's about being a citizen. So now I have my ingredients here to share to you. It's just 4. Nothing mind-blowing there. Remember, basic stuff. In Brazil, we like to call basic stuff as the rice and the beans. It's a delicious dish that we eat a lot. So we need to look forward for the rice and the beans to do something as citizens. First, political knowledge. We are raised listening bad things about politics, right? It's something that is corrupted, it's boring, it's difficult to understand, so we must avoid it. That's wrong. Politics is beautiful, and it's a beauty tool for transformation. But we need to understand how to use it. And when you dive into this concept, you need to acquire the basic knowledge to understand your country, how your country is organized, which institutions are there, what they do, what are the political parties, the ideologies, why you're paying taxes, where your money is going. All these basic answers you must have to be a citizen. If you don't have it, you need to look forward for it. Especially in a world of misinformation, this gets quite important. So, political knowledge as the first ingredient. The second one is plural dialogue. It's really comfortable to talk about people we love and we agree with, and finding divergency, people that will make us feel uncomfortable somehow. is just making us grow, going outside the bubbles, the echo chambers, and all this. It's important, and I promise you, you're going to learn something new. It's not about tolerating everything and agreeing with everything people will say, but it's about trying to understand how they got to this perspective and what can you learn from them. Thirdly, we have civic empathy. And I bet you've been listening the word empathy a lot recently. But I'm not talking about empathy with human beings, that of course is something important. But are we exercising empathy with our neighborhood, with our community, with our city? Trying to see our city as a human being for a moment and understand there is emotions there. Suffer. We need to help it to be better. And to identify our city gaps is our role as citizens. And acknowledge that all problems that are surrounding us and that are bothering us, we made them. Somehow we contributed for the existence of these problems. So this is civic empathy. And finally, community protagonism. And I love this because what is the point of having knowledge, knowing how to dialogue, understanding your city gaps if you're not putting your hands on to do something? And these beautiful words here tell us two things. Community first. You need to look local, and then maybe you can go global. The big revolution comes from small revolutions. So look to your community, and that's good. And protagonism, because you have the power. You can do whatever you want. You just need to move on for it. So I've been applying this recipe for a long time in 2 civil society organizations I co-founded in Brazil with my team. And I can assure you that it's possible to mix up these ingredients and do a good recipe where you're going to take people that is just individuals, spectators, and bring them to a side where they can find themselves as change makers, as solvers, as citizens. And especially, we do this better when we design a journey that is simple, fun, meaningful, and tangible, creating safe spaces where people really feel that they belong and that we can embrace mistakes as part of the process. And here are the kind of things that you can see possible after being trained for citizenship. You can teach other people about the political knowledge that you just acquired. You can put people to dialogue, facilitating conversations about tough topics where people are going to broaden their tolerance and open their minds. You can do awareness campaigns to put emphasis and spreading messages that are relevant for you. You can monitor the government and work with it as peers to improve your society. You can formulate local diagnoses of public problems to understand your city gaps and put in practice the civic empathy that I just told you. You can use these city gaps to create public policies from scratch, using our methodology, for example, that is free and available for everybody online, telling people what is the life cycle of a public policy. You can take your ideas as public policies and advocate in your municipality, doing some kind of lobby to see your ideas coming true. And that's precisely the spotlight that I want to put here, because we all were taught that the state, the government, has this monopoly of building these public policies. And everybody here can be a policymaker, not just policy takers. Magda and Victor, for example, developed a public policy where they created a mobile application to help the elderly to find their rights really easily and also access to basic services in their municipality. The proposal was approved by the city council and is just awaiting for the executive branch to approve the budget. They did that from scratch. Secondly, we have Rafael, that on the other hand, created the skateboarding week. Besides being an Olympic sport now, it's really important for kids in Brazil to have better opportunities. So he presented to the city councilor, they approved, and it's happening in his town now. Finally, we have Folashad. She just presented a public policy to stimulate the cultural tourism in her region, putting the original and traditional communities into the center of the process of creating courses and experiences to the tourists. The proposal hasn't been approved yet, but has been presented. The first step has been taken. We must celebrate it. If all these people, and baby Gabriel now, a man, became citizens and are involved on solving public problems, everyone can be one as well. But the reason why I brought my baby image here is not because I found myself beautiful. It's because we all need to remember that the systemic change will only happen when we start raising our kids as citizens, since the beginning. Politics, democracy, citizenship are not concepts that are out there that we can touch. We need to feel them, we need to live them. There are a set of values that we need to cultivate inside us since the beginning. It's a lifetime project. Remember, Citizenship cannot be taken for granted. You must deserve it. You must conquer it. Citizenship must be earned. See you on the other side. Thank you so much.